Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to use Flubaroo to self-correct your tests from your online form, and I'm going to show you how to add it using Google's new add-on feature. So here is my sample test responses. Once your children take an online test that you created in Google Forms, you're going to have a spreadsheet in your drive that has the name of the test here and responses in parentheses. So I have all of my children's responses. I'm going to go to add-ons, get add-ons, and I'm going to get a pop-up. I can either type in the name or just scroll down to find it. So I am looking for Flubaroo. Here it is. I need to click the plus sign to add it. It's going to request permission, accept. So now Flubaroo is added to my add-ons, and it's telling me that Flubaroo can grade it. And they also have sample submissions that you can use so that you can try out self-correcting an assessment before you actually give the children a test. So you can either hit learn more. I'm going to hit close. So in order to self-correct the test, what I'm going to do is go to add-ons. You can see that Flubaroo is there in the list, and grade assignment. I will tell you though before I grade it that you need to make sure that you go through and actually take the test yourself. So click through to your Google form, take the test as though you were a student, and what I have here is answer key so that I know that those are the answers. And you want to put in all the correct answers because Flubaroo needs to know which row it's looking at to gauge the children's answers in regards to what's correct and what's not correct. So I would recommend before you even give your children the test that you go through and take it, put the answers in so that when you go back to use Flubaroo later, they're already there. So Flubaroo, grade assignment. The first thing that Flubaroo is going to ask you is to choose an option. So the first name and last name, Flubaroo's already detected that it identifies the student as well as the email address. But it also wants you to tell it how many points each is worth. If I click on the drop-down menu, I can tell Flubaroo to skip it, don't grade it at all. Maybe it's something you want to grade yourself. And you have between 1 and 5 points that each can be worth. So you can change the point value if you want to, or you can leave it the same. That's up to you. So once you've signified how many points you want each to be, or whether or not you want Flubaroo not to grade it at all, you hit continue. The next thing that Flubaroo is going to ask you is to tell them which row they're using for the answer key. So here is the answer key right at number 1. I would click that and then hit continue. And so now Flubaroo is going to grade the assignment and use that first row that I titled answer key to gauge the rest of the children's answers. It creates a new worksheet for you inside of this Google spreadsheet. So you have, if you look down here, student submissions as one, and then the second worksheet is grades, and Flubaroo automatically put that in for you. And so in this pop-up, what you're seeing is that the worksheet has a grade for each submission. So each student has a grade, and then it has a summary of the grades at the top so you can see how many points possible total the students could get on this test. The average points based on the grades, how many submissions were counted, and then how many low scoring questions your children had. And they're asking you to not modify this spreadsheet. If you want to modify it in any way, you should make a copy of it and then modify it. Otherwise, it can mess up the grading because you can go back and have Flubaroo regrade the test, and it's going to regrade it and put it right back in this same spreadsheet. So when you're ready, you can click on View Grades, and you can see how your students did. And so if I scroll down, again, I have all of the students' names, and then I have the total points that they got on the test. So this student got none right. This student got 100%. And then I could go through and I can see how many times did the student submit the test. Because as you know, in Google Forms, you can activate the option for students to resubmit their answers, meaning that they could take that test more than once. Emailed grade. you can have Flubaroo email your students the grades, because here in this column I had your email address, so the children can be emailed their grades if you want. And then it has each question for you to see how many points the students got for that question. So obviously 0 points means that they got it incorrect. You always have the option to go back to the main worksheet and see the answers that the students put in for each question, so you can double check if you think that maybe something doesn't look right. You can go back, look at the children's answers, and then compare that with Flubaroo. And that's it. This is how you can use Flubaroo to self-correct an online test that you created in Google Docs.